welcome to Simple as That. I'm Farron and this is Andrea, and today we have quite the show planned for you.
Yes, today we're going to demystify gallery walls and show you how easy it can be if you have some simple tools right at your hands. And we're going to show you some different examples of gallery walls. We're also going to show you how to build an herb tower. And then the last thing we're going to do is message mugs.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get started on making gallery walls.
Hey Nex-Tech customer, we all know that watching TV at home is great, but did you know that you can take your TV on the road with you with TV Everywhere? There are nearly 30 channels to choose from. Watch American Pickers on History, news on Fox News, movies on Lifetime, whatever you want. TV Everywhere is another great feature for Nex-Tech TV customers. Visit nextech.com/TV Everywhere to register. Nex-Tech, our products and our people are here for you.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower e-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespublib.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
Are you stuck in a contract with a wireless company that doesn't care about you? Maybe you've been wanting to switch, but everyone in your family has different contract dates. Now, you can easily say goodbye to your current wireless company. Nex-Tech Wireless will pay your contract termination fees up to $350 per line when you activate a new smartphone with the Freedom Program. There are no service contracts and no worries. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
Hi, welcome back. We're getting ready to get started on talking to you about gallery walls. We've got some tips and tricks to share with you because it can be overwhelming. Last week we went to my house and did a little tutorial, kind of a quick video on how that was done, and so we're going to show that to you now. And so here it is. Hi and welcome to my home. Andrea and I have taken a road trip across town today so we could take a look at the gallery wall that I've created here with some help, obviously, and we just wanted to show you a different style. It can be overwhelming. There's lots of things to consider when you're building one, and so we just thought we'd give you another example.
Yes, it can be overwhelming, and there are some great tools that we can use to kind of help us along the way, and we really want to show you some of those tools. So one of the things that I brought with me today is just a good old, this is paper, wrapping paper, package wrapping paper. And something that you can do to help you is if you have a bunch of frames that, like for instance, Farron, why don't you tell me a little bit about your gallery wall?
Yeah, so one of the things that I started with was just gathering some frames that I had already and figuring out what sizes I already had and what I needed to add to it. So that's where the paper comes into play.
Yes. Plus, if you have some frames that maybe are off colors, or you have all this, because you collect them over time, and then all that, you may move to a new home, or you may just want to change things up. A bottle of spray paint can go a long way.
Sure. Yep.
And so I had that problem. I had all these frames. Some of them were oak, some of them were colored, and they had mats inside that were all different colors. And I wanted a theme like that as well. So I just bought a bottle of black matte spray paint, and I just spray painted all of my frames. And I have an example here. This one had a mat in it. And this mat was actually like two colors, and so I spray painted the mat as well, and that turned out really nice.
Yes.
So another thing you can do is use this paper, like I was saying. You can trace your frames on the paper and cut them out and use this as patterns on your wall, and we will show you that in another segment. And it can be really handy if you don't have your photos, and that way you're not putting holes in your wall and trying to rearrange.
Yes.
You can just tape this to the wall and get an idea of what you want to do. And it's especially important if you have lots of photos of varying sizes and shapes. And you don't want, it's a carpenter's worst nightmare to have a trillion holes in your wall and have to spackle.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, so that's a really good trick that you can do, and that kind of helps you determine, okay, these are the sizes I have, this is some sizes that I want, so you can kind of play with it without actually purchasing the frames if you don't have them already. So like the next thing that I did was I needed some boundaries to kind of create the wall. So what I did was bought these little ledges at IKEA and put them up first. And so then I kind of put up the frames that I had, and I had mostly smaller ones. So I knew I needed to buy some larger ones to get some variety. And the next thing that I did was I picked a black and white theme with just pops of color throughout the photos. Some of them are black and white, but that was just something that I wanted to kind of neutralize the decor.
And I like the way you incorporated some artwork and some shapes to your display, as well as not just all photos.
Yes.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, so those were some different things that I did to make it pretty, and we're going to go ahead and take you back to Andrea's house and show you the gallery wall that she's done there. And so hopefully these tips have helped you, and we'll give you a couple more. Okay, so that was a quick overview at my house, and we didn't go into a lot of detail. So we're gonna get down and do that now. So Andrea, how do we get started?
Well, like we said before, it's really good to have a theme, kind of have an idea. Like you may take a family trip and you may have those photos you want to do a gallery with, or you may have just some color schemes. Like we had our family pictures taken, and I wanted to do something with them. And so they were black and white photos, and so I also used black and white as kind of my theme. And so I went and figured out how many photos I had and artwork and different pieces that I wanted to frame, and I collected all the frames that I had, and they were miscellaneous sizes and shapes, and some of them weren't black, and some of them I had spray painted black before, but they had gotten scuffed. So I went to my local Ace and I bought some spray paint, and I spray painted all the frames that needed to be updated or were the wrong color and I wanted them black. And I even had some mats that were weird colors, and I wanted those also to be black. You could probably spray paint mats white or another color, silver maybe even, or gold, but I wanted black, so I chose that. And
About how long did it take you? I mean, how many frames did you do?
I think I had 10 frames, and I also had a piece of artwork. It was some the word home that was in it was in wood, and it was an off color, and I wanted it black as well. And so what I did is I just found a good place that I didn't have to worry about. Had some good ventilation. I had just repurposed some old puffy air, bubble wrap. Laid that down on the ground to protect the ground, and then I laid my frames out and I spray painted them. Some of them took 2 coats, so it was a weekend project. I started on Saturday, finished on Sunday, and by Sunday evening they were dry and I could bring them in and kind of get started then putting the glass back in. Washing the glass. All the frames were kind of dirty. They'd been in storage, so I kind of needed to go through and clean them up a little elbow grease. But
so just kind of a little bit of a weekend project
to
get them prepped and ready to go. And you still have quite a bit of paint here, so you could do a whole nother.
There's a lot of other things that paint could be used for, sure.
Cool. So once you had them prepped and ready to go, then what did you do? Well,
I took my frames once I had all the artwork in them and I knew what ones I was going to use, and I took that brown package wrapping paper and I laid it out and I traced around all of the frames, and then I cut them out, and then I brought everything upstairs and I started to kind of lay them out on the wall of how I thought they might work. And one thing I used was painter's tape on the back because it won't hurt your wall and you don't want it to stay for very long. And so that worked out great. I just rolled them and put them on the back of them, and that worked great.
And one of the things you did, I kind of helped a little bit on this process. You made a center line on the wall.
Yeah.
So we kind of have two gallery walls going on here. And on this side, you kind of wanted a center line, put that on the wall.
Yeah.
You had laid the frames out on the floor with their paper and then kind of placed them there. And then if you get them up there and you don't like how they look, you just move them until you like them.
Right, and you can do that, a center line either vertically or horizontally. I've even seen people do a diagonal and then set their frames kind of like that. Works really great if you're going to do a stairwell and you want it to kind of flow down. But painter's tape is great for that because it gives you that invisible line because you're eventually going to take it away.
Right.
But it can be a really helpful tool.
Yeah.
And like I said, this has taken me almost 2 years to finally accomplish because it did feel like such a daunting task. And so I kind of gave myself a deadline and I said I needed to get it done. And I looked a lot on Pinterest, and there's lots of great posts there that you can look at and pins that tell you kind of the process. So I found one of them that I really felt was informative and helpful, and I just kind of took what that pinner had to say, and I followed it, and it really, I think, worked well.
And it helped.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming up here, but actually when we stopped to do the work, it didn't take long at all.
1 week and it's done.
Yeah.
And and it feels so good to finally have it done.
And now you have more room in your storage because you don't have all these frames cluttering it.
That's right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hang this last piece of artwork. And another thing is there's some really great products out there. And this is a product made by 3M. And these are Command brand, and they're damage-free hanging. So you don't have to even put holes in your wall. And so what you do is you take these, and they're similar to Velcro, but they're both plastic, and you press them together and they click. You can hear kind of a clicking noise, and you get that all the way pressed in till it doesn't click anymore, and then you take one of the backs off, and then you just center it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's what this is. This just takes all of the perfection out of it because it really leaves you room for error.
Yeah.
And then you take this portion off.
Okay.
And then you walk over, and like this is the place holder.
That
and so
shows you, how you had to put the paper on the wall.
Yep, and I know that's it. So I'm going to just take this down, and all you have to do is press it. And then something that is a really handy tool to have when you're hanging pictures is a small level.
Okay.
And this just makes sure that your pictures are square to the world.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of see, and then that Velcro back allows you to tweak it ever so slightly.
Yes.
And then it's perfect.
And if you get on there, it's a little crooked. The Velcro, you can actually pull it off, reposition, and it'll click back on there. So that's very nice.
And I used several of those this time. I think I only used 2 nails in the whole project. And so I really, that's great.
Yeah, then you don't have to recruit your husband or whoever. You can do it yourself. So.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we did our gallery walls, and I hope that helps you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you how to make an herb garden tower. And they're pretty cool, so we're excited.
Nex-Tech Local 1 brings you What's Happening Now, a show dedicated to events going on in our area. If you have an event and would like to be a part of What's Happening Now, contact Jenny Leiker at 785-625-7070.
restaurants, gyms, salons, libraries, and more. Nex-Tech has over 100 free Wi-Fi hotspots to keep you connected.
You can have all the channels in the world, but without the network to deliver the signal, you've still just got TV. At Nex-Tech, we've got the channels, HD, video on demand, TV everywhere, and we have the fiber network for you, because we've got these guys, and these guys, and these guys, and these guys. Nex-Tech, our fiber network, products, and people are here for you.
Keeping your budget on track and having the things your family needs are often top of mind. Now, quality wireless service doesn't have to be a budget buster. Introducing the $40 unlimited smartphone plan from Nex-Tech Wireless. Enjoy unlimited data, texting, and calling for just $40 per month. There are no contracts required or overages to worry about. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Ask about the $40 unlimited plan and start saving today. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
Hi, welcome back. We are outside and we're going to show you how to make a herb tower. We're calling it that, but you can really plant anything in this planter. So
Yes.
We've kind of got it started, but we're going to walk you through the process, and I think you're going to really love it. So
Yes, simply takes 5 pots, and they need to vary in size from large to small. And what we're going to start with is a very large pot, and what we've done is we've taken the larger of the 2 terracotta pots and we put it down inside.
we put it upside down.
And we live in Kansas, and it gets really, really hot in the summer, and I find that stone pots work amazing. I just feel like things thrive a little bit better, and then also using some really great topsoil or great soil in your pots really helps a bunch too.
Yeah.
So
let's go ahead and start constructing it.
Yeah,
You have the bottom layer filled already.
yeah, so we've put, and you can actually fill part way with a filler. Like some people use cans, or some people can use cardboard. You could use plastic bottles crunched up, just anything to make it so you're not using so much of your soil, and then the water will flow down through that. And then what we're going to do is stack on that terracotta pot our second pot.
Yeah.
And then Farron, will you grab that little pot?
Yes. So then we flip it over and put it inside here.
Okay.
So
and if you want to take that, I will lift this up.
Yep.
And what we're doing is just adding a really good potting soil that is moisture control, so that it will hold a lot more moisture into the soil, but it also will take too much soil or water away from the plant's roots, so they don't get rotten and spoil. Okay, should we put a little bit more in?
A little bit more, yes. We're getting there.
All right.
So really this is going to take about
a full bag.
Full bag of potting soil, and then to finish it off, you just put it sort of like a snowman. And what we plan to do is put herb plants in here and keep it kind of close to your front door or something where it's easy to go out from your kitchen, and so you can use those while you're cooking.
Yes, and you can clip your, like you could put rosemary on the top because it likes to go up, and then around the edges you can put thyme and oregano because they will flow over the edges, and you could even put chives in the top or chives around the edge because they grow up, and then all summer long and into the fall you can have fresh herbs to clip and use in your cooking.
Yeah. And we've pinned this on our Pinterest page, and so if you want a tutorial or kind of see the, the Martha Stewart thing that we found to make it, you can go out there and find that. And then I have to announce this really exciting thing. We're going to be showing how to actually plant the plants on the garden show, and that'll be coming up soon, so tune into Nex-Tech Local 1 to be able to watch how we do that with our garden show host, Linda Stallman. So I guess that's it for how we
All you have to do is finish this out, put some soil in the top, and it is kind of heavy. So I would recommend assembling it where you're going to have it. But it's easy to disassemble if you need to.
All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break, go back inside, and coming up next, we're gonna show you how to make message mugs. And they're so fun to have around your house to write little messages to one another to have throughout the week. So that's coming up next.
Hey Nex-Tech customer, we all know that watching TV at home is great, but did you know that you can take your TV on the road with you with TV everywhere? There are nearly 30 channels to choose from. Watch American Pickers on History, news on Fox News, movies on Lifetime, whatever you want. TV Everywhere is another great feature for Nex-Tech TV customers. Visit nextech.com/TV Everywhere to register. Nex-Tech, our products and our people are here for you.
The Hayes Public Library isn't just for books anymore. Break through your book barriers and see what all the HPL has to offer. Enjoy our free programs like computer classes, music concerts, cooking sessions, and more. Browse our collection of DVDs, CDs, and other media for free checkouts. Access your favorite titles online with the Sunflower e-Library and take your media on the go with the Hoopla app. Visit www.hayespublib.org and discover what the Hayes Public Library has to offer.
Are you stuck in a contract with a wireless company that doesn't care about you? Maybe you've been wanting to switch, but everyone in your family has different contract dates. Now, you can easily say goodbye to your current wireless company. Nex-Tech Wireless will pay your contract termination fees up to $350 per line when you activate a new smartphone with the Freedom Program. There are no service contracts and no worries. Nex-Tech Wireless. Say hello to something different.
Hi, we're back inside now, and we're going to end our show with a quick little tutorial, something that we are calling message mugs, but they're chalk mugs, and so we're going to walk you through how we do that. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take too many supplies, and so Andrea, how did we do this?
Well, we first, supplies you'll need is this is called glass chalkboard paint. We found that at Hobby Lobby. We bought some plain white mugs. You could use any plain colored mug, or even glass, or even like a picture. If you wanted to, you could create like a message on here, and then you could paint the black on it. Even if you had something that you wanted to change or do something fun with, you'll need chalk. A ruler, a Sharpie would be really handy, and some painter's tape.
Yes, and you can freehand it, but this kind of gets you a straight line.
Yeah, we wanted it to kind of have a clean line at the top.
So let's get that one of these taped, kind of, or we'll show. You measured down about how far?
I actually went from the bottom up and measured up 4 inches on our mug, and so then, but you don't have to measure. You could probably eyeball it and do pretty well. Painter's tape is pretty forgiving, so like if you wanted it maybe a little bit lower, we went 4 inches because we wanted a lot of area to write.
More room to write.
Yeah, and so when you're using the painter's tape, you just want to make sure that you run your finger along the line that you're going to paint, because that way there are no bubbles or no areas where the paint can creep up under. So once you get that done,
then we go ahead and paint, and one thing that we learned was it dries very fast, and we kind of, I don't know, did a good thick layer or maybe 2, but we kind of brushed it till there wasn't any more white, and then Annie brought them home. We did this at work. Brought them home and baked them in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. Then when they get done, you just kind of
You have to let them dry completely,
Yes.
and so I let them dry 24 hours. And then what they call it is priming. So once the paint is primed, and this is also dishwasher safe, it says on the bottle. So I'll be anxious to see. I don't know if I would want to put it in my dishwasher, but it says it is, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
But you just prime it with a chalk.
You just kind of rub it on there.
Rub it on there, and then you can wipe it off, and then you can write on it. And we actually did 2 different ways. Farron?
We did just regular chalk, and which I am not very good at writing in chalk, and so it looks kind of messy. So we thought, well, let's try a chalk marker, and so we did that as well. And it's a little bit prettier, and it's going to stay on there a little better.
And you can touch it and it doesn't smear where this does. And then to get it off, you can just use...
Yeah, we're just using Charmin wipes, and they just wipe right off, and it cleans up really easy. So we think this is a cute little thing to do for gifts for
Mother's
all kinds
Day
of
or
things. Wedding gift, and so that is how to make a message mug. Do you have any other thing you want to add to it?
I did put it on. I put the cups on a pan when I put it in the oven, just because I didn't think the paint would run, but I just wanted it to have a little bit more stable. Something to sit on.
Yeah, so
and
great.
But no, they cooled off really fast. I'm really pleased and surprised. Fun project.
Fun thing to have around the house and to drink your coffee out every morning. So thanks for watching our show, and join us next time on Simple as That.